What's up guys, TheAmigoBoyz here, and today I wanted to make a new video, an updated video guide on the character that I've been playing in Legacy Hardcore League, and right now I'm level 86, so I've been leveling up quite a bit since last time, and yeah, this build has just been a blast, but you know, it only really starts to pick up in DPS once you get, uh, past Merciless and get to maps, because the leveling was pretty terrible, so I would not recommend using this build, as a starter build for a new league or something like that, unless you got, a tabula rasa and really good leveling gear. Because, playing as a bow, leveling as a bow is pretty bad, but leveling as an elemental bow is even worse, since mobs, in the Act 3 and 4 will have a lot of resist, so your damage will just be even lower. But, yeah. Let's look at the skill tree, shall we? So, the tree is pretty much the same, as last time. The only differences we have been doing is that we have been pathing up here to, getting some more life written in blood, as well as getting the arcing blows. The penetration is just really good, and our lightning damage is our main damage shots anyway, so it's gonna be, you know, giving us. It's gonna be worth it, basically. We could also, instead of using, the Herald of Ice, we could be using a Herald of Thunder instead, and then we would get a lot more lightning damage. But we're just using it right now to, curse enemies with the Assassin's Mark to generate power charges. And this tree, the only reason, the only difference to this tree and the softcore tree from the build guide is just that I've taken phase acrobatics here. But if I get, manage to get to maybe level 90 plus, I might be respecking some of the nodes, these nodes up here maybe, and going to the left and going up to the side life wheel instead and grabbing all this life. Because over here there should be around 49% life or something like that. It's really, really great. And it could be a hardcore option. And if you were to use Chaos as well, this strength could be really useful. The strength nodes pathing up to here. But yeah. So if you take a look at the gear, I've got a Windripper now. And it's a pretty nice roll as well. The attack speed could be a little bit better, but the crit chance is really good. It goes from 60 to 80, so it's one of perfect accuracy. Sorry, crit chance. And I haven't been able to, get a Legacy Windripper yet, but I don't know if I ever will be able to, because they will be really, really expensive on, you know, on Legacy League and Legacy Hardcore. But yeah, the bow, it cost me around 15 chaos. Right now, one for good rolls will probably cost maybe more, 30 chaos or something, but I bought it for 15 chaos, um, you know, a couple of days ago. And then I six-socket it myself. Tried to 5-link it with 60 fusings, but no luck. So for the helm, we're using a Starconia's head. I was using rats before, but I figured that, the 92 life is just it's just better, for hardcore. I don't want to die, and since I, got my 6-link chest that has no life on it, I will need to get life on the helm instead. Uh, the amulet is pretty much the same as before, life, crit multi. This one also has a little bit of evasion and strength and intelligence, since it's a negative amulet, which really helps us with the requirements of the, level requirements and no, sorry, the attribute requirements. And then it has chaos resist as well. So I'm basically at 12%, in maps, 12% positive chaos resist, and it helps a lot. It makes me able to survive Chayula breaches and so on. Because with minus 60, you would probably die to Chayula breaches. So I figured that I would need to get better chaos resist just to being able to survive. And the quiver is the same as before. Crit multi, crit chance, resists life, and a little bit of weapon elemental damage. I don't have tar level 7, so I can't remove it and craft it a better roll, but it works for now. It works for now. And the ring is just resists, a little bit of lightning damage, intelligence, and life. And the hypnotic nail is the same as before as well. I bought it for 3.5 chaos. It was a really nice deal. It has life as implicit, it has some resists, and it just gives me a lot of damage. The physical damage is pretty useless, but the elemental and lightning is just really, really good. And I upgraded my gloves, to some with chaos resist as well. which helps a lot with my cast resist. And so it's basically just a little bit of lightning damage, cast resist, and the other resists and life. The belt, a leather belt of course. I could probably, if I were to use cams, I would probably use a heavy belt instead, just so you want to get that strength. But just resists, life, and weapon elemental damage. And the boots, weapon element, sorry, movement speed, resists, and life. The enchant is pretty useless, but I haven't been running lab right now. And the chest piece, I just bought a 6 link, with cast resist and lightning resist. Doesn't have life, but it also has intelligence, so that helps a lot. Okay, I actually didn't realize that it had intelligence, so that means that I'm basically way overcapped. So I could, in theory, be specking out of this intelligence node then. Oh, guys, you know, that moment when you realize that. So basically we have one free point now we can use, and I would probably just use it, to get a jewel socket with more life here or here, or, get more frenzy charges, or get a little bit more life here. But yeah, guys, that was pretty cool. But basically, my flasks removes bleeding, instant recovery. You really want an instant flask, especially on hardcore. Then I use a diamond's flask with chill and freeze immunity. To be honest, I don't really need it since I have respec the ascendancy to the avatar of the veil instead. I figured that it was better for hardcore since you have facing while at maximum frenzy charges, and when you have the way of the poacher, you will be almost permanently at maximum frenzy charges. So this means that you'll basically be permanently at 10% spell dodge, 40% elemental damage, 20% movement speed, and immunity to status elements. This will also help a lot once we can afford a Wing Tars, because it will never shock us basically. As long as we're hitting a rare mob or just killing one mob every 12 seconds, we will be permanently on a maximum frenzy charges, which is really good. For the Uber Lab, I'll be getting Avatar of the Slaughter, but I haven't really needed to get it yet, and I also haven't found the trials for it yet. It only really starts to pick up once you get all the other frenzy charges on the tree. But it's definitely something I want to do, once I get to a little bit higher level and once I get the trials. But yeah, the flasks, the Quicksilver one, I also just use removes bleeding since I'll almost always having it up. It really helps, you don't have to worry about bleed since you have the movement speed up 100% of the time. You will be bleed immune. Then I used the Onslaught flask since I have I respect the Onslaught node, so I just use an Onslaught flask instead. The last flask I use is just a basalt with movement speed duration, movement speed while flask effect and increased duration just to get it up longer. It really helps since we don't have any armor, so physical damage can be pretty hard, but the basalt helps a lot. Let's just check the gem links real quick. I'm using Tornado Shot, linked with faster attacks, weapon elemental damage, added lightning, lightning penetration, and GMP. I could use Pierce instead of lightning penetration, but since I haven't taken the Pierce notes, there's no reason to only get 50% Pierce. So that's why I use lightning penetration. And I also don't have that much penetration yet since I'm not using elemental weakness on my gloves, etc. So the penetration really helps against single target. Especially since map bosses can have a high resist. And then I'm just using, faster projectiles, blink arrow. They don't really have to be linked with Wrath. I just put it in there because that was the only, spare blue socket I have. Then I have a decoy totem. It just helps, for hardcore, when you're fighting some bosses, you don't want all of them to be targeted you at once. Herald Ice, Curse on Hit, Assassin's Mark. This is basically the setup you want to be using. And then you want to be using cast for damage taken, Immortal Call, and with increased duration if you can get another red socket, but it's free off colors, so it might be a little bit hard to get. Then I'm using Temp Chains, just for self cast, on bosses, so I can, I can dodge them easier. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to check out my stream at twitch.tv/TheAmigoBoyz. I'll be trying to stream every Saturday at 10 p.m. UTC +1 time. So, see you guys later. Peace.